So welcome to a pointers primer. In this video, you're about to meet pointers for the first time in the next video. So I want to prepare you for that because they're a little different and we didn't cover them in the previous section because we didn't need them. The clue that you're using a pointer is basically when you see a star next to a type. Obviously not a star as in a multiplication, but when it's next to a type or a variable. You'll see an example in a minute. Pointers are simply memory addresses. A pointer tells the system to go somewhere else to find what it's looking for. So you have to follow the pointer to the object in question or the function in question in order to actually do anything with it. So why? Why would you even bother using pointers? Well, the benefit is it saves you from moving things around in memory. So you've got a huge object, a building, a large piece of terrain, any complex game object. You don't want to be moving that thing around and copying it from one place in memory to another. So it saves you from doing that. You refer to things by reference rather than by value. There is a disadvantage, is that you can lose control of the data. The moment I've issued a pointer to something, how about if there's another pointer to that same thing somewhere else? Who's in control of that data? You could lose track of the data. You could lose track of the object. Maybe both of the pointers disappear and now you no longer know how to get to the thing. Maybe two things try and change it at the same time. So there are potential disadvantages, but plenty of ways of managing it. So let's look at the syntax of these things then. Here's bit of code. F actor component tick function. So F is just that prefix that Unreal like to use. Actor component tick function star this tick function. What's that all about? Well, here we have a pointer called this tick function, and it's a pointer to something of type f-actor component tick function. And why do you need a type with a pointer if a pointer is just a memory address? It's basically for checking so that the compiler can make sure that you're being consistent and that when you get to that address, it's expecting to find something of the type on the left. Now that's equivalent to putting a space before the star, like that. And it's also equivalent to putting the star tightly up against the actual variable on the right-hand side there. Okay, now we're going to go with the first syntax because that's Unreal Standard, but you will see all three used. So you have to get used to ignoring where the white space is there and understanding that when those two things are together with a star between them, then the thing on the right is a pointer of type the thing on the left. So all three statements are equivalent. We use the first. In all cases, this tick function is a pointer, and in all three cases, the type of the object pointed to is the thing on the left. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the arrow accessor operator. So imagine we have something called SUMActor, which is a pointer to an actor. So a actor star tells us it's a pointer to an actor, and the thing is called SUMActor. The pointer is called SUMActor. So the a actor class has a method called getName. So that syntax there, star SUMActor, when you put the star on the left of SUMActor on its own, dereferences the pointer. That means it goes to the memory address pointed to by SUMActor. And then, as a whole, star SUMActor acts as if it was just the actor. So it dereferences it. It follows the pointer. So you could write star SUMActor in brackets, just to help the compiler treat that as one, .getName. And that'd be the same as following the pointer over to the memory address where SUMActor lives, and then calling the getName method on it. But that's somewhat cumbersome. So there's an operator, called the arrow operator, as shown there, which allows you to follow and access all in one. So we can access the method by saying SUMActor dash right chevron getName. So remember, when you're dealing with pointers, and you'll be able to see that in Visual Studio by hovering, and the IntelliSense will pop up and show you that the result of the function is a pointer. We'll see that shortly. If you're using pointers, you use the arrow operator. If you're using the objects directly, then you use the dot operator. So what I want you to do as a challenge as a result of this video is just to simply go and do some more reading about pointers. You don't need to understand them in full depth right now. We're going to do what I call a spiral syllabus, which means that we're going to have a quick look like we just did at them. Then we're going to go use them a few times so you've seen them in context, and then we're going to loop back as we need to build your knowledge of pointers as necessary. Bear in mind, every time you turn a light switch on, you may not know exactly how that lighting system works and all the details about how electrons and photons are produced in the light filament, but you can still use a light. So you can still use pointers without knowing exactly how they work, but as you start to use them in a more nuanced way and start to do more custom things with them, you're going to need to understand them better and better. So let yourself not fully understand them this time round, okay? Where can you go? Well, here's one good place, cplus.com/thatlot, and that will take you to a brief tutorial on pointers. I'd like you to share your understanding of pointers in the discussions. Now, there's lots of different levels of people on this course. Some of you are super advanced and you know this inside out, and some of you are just programming for the first time. So I'd just like you to be brave enough to share what you've understood of pointers and what still confuses you. It also helps me, of course, insert content as necessary. And in the next video, I want you to keep an eye out for a pointer in positionreport.cpp. It's going to be a file we're going to make, a class we're going to make in the next video. And you'll find a pointer in there somewhere. Have a little look, see if you can find where that is, and maybe then come back and say, hey, I found it. It's this thing, and sneaky little thing in there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to see you in the next video, and I will look forward to introducing you further to pointers.